Hello dominants and submissives, I'm Master Zahn from Ontario, and today is something a little bit different than normal. Instead of a lecture, I'm doing an interview. I'm going to let him introduce himself, so...
Hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Dynamite and Kobe.
I first met you doing a drag story hour at the library when I brought my daughter there. So can you tell us a little bit about how that started and you got into that?
So I started performing drag 2 years ago now. I was introduced to drag through RuPaul's Drag Race. It actually kind of started as a joke. I was watching The Soup and they made fun of a clip from the show. And it looked so ridiculous that I was like, I gotta watch this. And then I just watched episode after episode after episode. Probably like a week later, went out to Shoppers and bought $200 worth of makeup and started playing. Kind of kept it to myself and on social media at first, and then North Bay Pride started to blow up in town. So I ended up, my first show was actually with the Capital Kings from Ottawa. They came to North Bay to do a drag seminar before the Pride show. And that was open to anyone who wanted to perform for the first time. And then after that, I performed for the North Bay Pride annual drag show.
Okay.
Sorry, long-winded.
That's okay.
From there, I got into doing story time. A worker from Amelia Rising reached out to me, and she was trying to put together more community programs and activities that educated people on LGBTQ plus issues and lifestyle, made it more open and accepting to the community, and drag story time is a great way to do that. Get to teach children about consent and about accepting people, non-judgmental lifestyles. Yeah.
I had heard that the drag story hour originally got a lot of blowback, and after I brought my daughter, I put up a picture. Like, hey, this is great teaching kids, and I ended up getting a fair bit of blowback. People are like, oh, that guy holding the kid maybe is ruining his child, like, you can't teach that young. And I posed the question to them, would you teach bigotry and then try to undo that later? Like when you start teaching them to accept others? How do you deal with any of the blowback that you get from it?
I personally haven't really dealt with any blowback. I've heard lots of stories. Like recently in the news, there was a story about a queen performing drag story time in Ottawa, and she was confronted by a religious leader and some of his followers in a very nasty manner. I didn't read the whole story, so I can't really touch on all the details there. I think it's important to just carry yourself cordially, know that what you're doing is not harming anybody, there's nothing wrong with it, and that other people are going to have their opinions regardless of what you do, so just be yourself, live your life. Don't worry too much about that blowback, don't pay too much mind.
Personally, I just really blocked them. I was like, well, I disagree, and
yeah, if I were to run into that on social media, I just would unfollow the person and block them. I don't have time for that.
And you had mentioned that you also go by a pup name.
Yeah, so I also go by Pup Kobe. Kobe is a beta pitbull. Pup play is something that I kind of recently started to explore. As I mentioned to you earlier before this, I dove in head first. I've made friends with a lot of different pups online. One in town, so we have a really small community here. Yeah, it's been a really interesting world and lifestyle.
And as actually for our town, because it's so small, what I found is we have about 2,000 Kinksters. Of them, about 200 are active. Of them, about 20 will actually go to events or lunches. And of them, even a smaller percent are pups or littles, so every individual set is very small. So you only really met the one in town?
So far, at Pride, I saw lots of furries around, and
I'm trying to
I
get an
didn't
interview
see
with one of
any
these
other
other
people wearing hot hoods particularly, but like I'm happy to get to know everybody in the queer community who enjoys their alternative lifestyles. I'm very open to getting to learn more about it.
Now, do you have any sort of interests in the kink lifestyle, sort of, the dominant or submission side of it?
Again, like, as a beta pup, I'm a very submissive person for the most part. I very much enjoy being told what to do, doing things for my handler, performing tricks. Very much interested in things like being tied up or bound. I enjoy rough sex. I don't know. I like the attention a lot, so definitely more into the sub side of things.
And I actually really get that too, as some of my viewers know I pet play myself, and my slave wife's first dynamic was Dark Pet. Again, it was part of the attention that I found really enjoyable. And same with her. She would just be there at the side of my bed. We'd watch stuff, or I'd pet her or call her up. Are you able to tell us anything about what you do as a pup, or as a submissive side to being a pup?
Again, it's when I have my hood on, I prefer being on all fours. I don't like to speak. A big part of it too is I work in a very serious professional field, so it's nice to be able to kind of strip that human side of myself and just let go and get that attention. Be very carefree and simple-minded.
And you just don't have those human worries. It really ends up helping.
Absolutely. It's a huge release.
Yeah.
It's not an overly sexual thing for me when I do pup play. I will like play around, do a bit of foreplay when I have my hood on, but when sex is going to start, the hood comes off and the human comes out again.
And before we had started, you had said that you were interested in doing maybe like some modeling shots or videos. Now, would that be in the sort of pup play dynamic, or something separate? Or both?
Both. A couple different things. So I'm working right now on having an OnlyFans account approved. I have an Instagram account that is full of just like different weightlifting videos, semi-nude photography. Again, I really enjoy the attention.
Feel free to mention your Instagram account if you want to get the followers.
It would be at king_kobe_beef. And yeah, the OnlyFans isn't set up yet, but it's on its way. Again, amateur porn is something that interests me. Always willing to make a buck. Never take less than 100 though. And I guess that's about it. Like, I'm also willing to partake in other people's activities. I very much like the idea of doing things by request. I'm very interested again in like bodybuilding and weight gaining. So like sometimes just sit down and eat a big meal for somebody. Yeah, again, very open-minded. There's a lot to explore still for me, I think.
There's always something new to learn. That's what I love. I teach, but I'm still learning. Everyone I say,
Absolutely.
we're all here to learn together. We all get enough flack from outside the lifestyle without more coming from in. May as well cooperate with everybody together.
Absolutely.
Now, this is just the first interview that I've done, so it's sort of off the cuff this time. But I'd like to thank Chris Dynamite for joining us for the first lecture. You'll probably see him again. He's said that he might have some interest in doing some of the demo videos for rope cuffs and things like that that I've been trying to get going. So I'd like to thank you for joining us. It's been
Thank
really
you very
great.
much.
And everybody, thank you for joining us for this first interview, and I hope you'll tune in for the next video, whatever it might happen to be.